Howdy, howdy. What is going on, everybody? What is up, YouTube? Just a little introduction video. My name is Cody. I do a little bit of content. I have another channel called The Stone Mandalorian / The Stone Mandalorian Collector. I do a lot of action figure reviews, and I talk about nerd stuff, comics, shows, movies, stuff like that. But I wanted to do a channel dedicated to the way that I used to live life with my wife. I used to be, back in the day, a couple years ago, I was very hippie. I had long hair and grew food, raised animals like chickens and ducks, and I had reptiles and all that kind of stuff. I want to try to make this like an introduction video. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, Stone Garden and Gains. This is going to be my channel where I document my progress on when it comes to lifting, when it comes to living off the land, like, growing food and raising animals, chickens, stuff like that. Just trying to live a healthier lifestyle. Like I used to years ago. Little quick backstory. Make sure my mic is on. In 2022, May of 2022, my brother, my mom, and her husband were involved in a hit and run. They were all riding their bikes. My mom was riding with her husband on one bike, and then my brother was on his bike. It was late at night, like 9, 10 o'clock at night. They were riding, got hit head on by a work van going over 70 miles an hour in a 50, 55 mile per hour area. So my brother lost his life. He was killed. We never found the driver of the van. He is still out, still at large, I guess you could say. My mom and her husband suffered very, very serious injuries, life-threatening even. They were both knee-down amputees on their left leg, and went through a very lengthy recovery process, and me and my wife had to leave our jobs for a little while and take care of them and become caretakers, all while trying to grieve my brother and stuff like that. Just a little quick backstory here. So that definitely turned my life upside down, me and my family. So before that, me and my wife were actually living out in the woods in the country, and we grew food. We grew tomatoes and spinach, and we had chickens and ducks. Like I said, we used to raise animals. We had reptiles and turtles and all kind of cool animals. We were very disconnected from it all. Like we didn't have internet. We couldn't get deliveries. We were very, very disconnected. So, but it was a very fulfilling lifestyle, raising chickens and growing food and just living a little more naturally and holistically. And through the time that I lost my brother and trying to caretake for my mom and, my wife dealing with all that and such, we kind of fell into the lifestyle of convenience for obvious reasons. When you're, grieving and tragedy and just trying to stay alive, trying to survive, you're not really thinking about the healthiest way to do things. You're just trying to make it till tomorrow. And with that being said, I want to start getting back to how I used to live. Like I want to cook out of stainless steel. I want to grow my own food. I want to eat more holistic, whole foods that don't have chemicals injected in chemical ingredients that are chemicals in our food. And just want to get back to living a more hippie lifestyle, So I want to use this channel to help spread information to others. I don't know. I'm no expert. I don't know everything, but this is the stuff that works for me. I like to lift weight. I love nature and animals, and it's just this channel is going to be a little more focused on who I am in my soul and my mind. Because when I started my other channel, The Stone Mandalorian, I needed a little bit of an outlet dealing with my brother's loss and stuff, and Star Wars and Marvel and all that kind of nerd stuff. We grew up on that as kids, so that was just something that me and my brother were really into. Like people knew me and my brother for our love of Star Wars and stuff like that. We also used to lift weight together. We used to go to the gym every other day. Just really good times. So I probably should have scripted this out a little bit, but I just wanted to do a little quick introduction video explaining what this channel is going to be about, what my mindset and goal is for this channel. I just want to get back to living a more healthy life, eat good food, gain some muscle, and maybe even help spread this information to other people. And if you're wanting to make choices and lifestyle changes, this can be somewhere where we can all do it together, like changing out no fluoride in your toothpaste, not using certain brands of paper towels and toilet tissue, using stainless steel to cook, French pressing your coffee, eating more whole foods like berries and stuff like that. And anytime like you have do research on like herbal home remedies, stuff like that. Just want to, not that I'm cracking Western medicine or anything, but for every prescription or pill that there is a natural remedy in nature that is provided to us to help that ailment or illness or whatever. So Again, I don't want this to be super long. I might even throw a little snippet here showing y'all my backyard and my carport gym. It's not a whole lot. It's literally just a power rack, couple dumbbells and kettlebells. It's not much, but just to kind of document what I have so far, and who knows in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years where it'll be then. So I will give y'all a quick look at my backyard. I don't really have any kind of plans of where I'm going to put food. I'm going to start slow this year. I'm going to start probably just some tomatoes and some containers, and I usually like to do raised beds and stuff like that. I love tomatoes and spinach, and I'm an easy vegetable guy. I like to grow easy vegetables. Again, like I told you, I'm no expert, but me and my wife did recently just get 4 chicks from Tractor Supply. And again, back in the day, me and my wife, we had almost 30 chickens. We had 4 ducks. We had numerous types of geckos and lizards and turtles and all that kind of stuff. So having chickens is nothing new to me. However, raising chickens in a neighborhood is new to me. It's a little bit different, but just want to get back to just living more naturally, like humans are supposed to live. And but with that being said, let me not yap too long. So welcome to the channel, Stone Garden and Gains. And actually I gotta give a shout out to my wife, Mrs. Stone. She actually came up with the name for this channel, and I thought it was just so good. I was sitting there letting stuff marinate and trying to think. I didn't really like anything I was coming up with. So then she said Stone Garden. And I was like, well, what about something for lifting? I was like, I like that. And she's like, well, how about Stone Garden and Gains? Maybe I could add the and gain. Either way, it doesn't matter. I kind of got to give full credit to my wife. So, yeah, shout out to Mrs. Stone. I really do like the name. So, yeah, let me quit yapping. Let me show y'all my carport gym in the backyard. There's my dog, also little hound dog. Hey, babies. So it's a little bit of a mess right now. I apologize for that. I got this is some stuff built for the coop. I got a Roman chair right here I got to put together. Definitely got to do some straightening up. But this is pretty much the gym, man. This is it. I got a power rack, some about 275 or 310 pounds worth of weights. I got to get some more. I got a mace bell right over there. You can see. Got a 100-pound sandbag. You know, it's definitely a work in progress. It's not done, but it helps me get the job done. This is the backyard. This is where we're going to be playing again. Sorry for the mess. I got some pallets over here, some extra stuff or whatever. But it's a pretty decent sized backyard. There is people who lived here before. They did have some beds right over here, and actually our neighbors, they have a nice little garden right here. They do a lot of turnip greens and mustard greens, stuff like that. But there are some raised beds that they had previously. I don't know what they grew in them, but it's definitely, you see all the dandelions. It's definitely going to need some work though. You can tell it's very unkept. It's been a while. You can just tell, like, these trees right here need to be trimmed up, and yeah, there's a lot of stuff that needs to be done before we turn this into a bed. But then there's also a nice little section over here with this side of the yard gets some nice shade. And I was thinking about putting my tomatoes over here because, contrary to what I thought a couple years ago, is tomatoes actually don't do, they will do okay in full sun like this here, but they actually do okay in partial sun and shade. So I might end up trying to do some raised beds over here eventually and do some tomatoes over there, maybe do like spinach or some other stuff over here. But what I think I'm going to do for now is just have a couple containers with some tomatoes and just have them on my back patio. But, you know, it's going to be a work in progress. It's not going to, you know, it's going to take some time to get it the way I want. But this is just, it is a really beautiful yard. It's got some nice green grass, really good size acred lot. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I showed you my backyard. I showed you my carport gym. It's not a lot to work with, but it's definitely something. As far as the backyard goes, it's a great size acre lot. You know, I definitely have plenty of yard to work with. I also have the front yard if I ever wanted to grow vegetables in the front yard as well. But as far as my gym goes, there's definitely some pieces, like some machines and some other stuff, weights, sandbags, some stuff that I still want to acquire to really be able to do other workouts and other movements and stuff like that. But for now, I really do have everything I need. And I've had that set up out there in the carport for, I want to say, close to a year. So it has done everything I've needed it to and more. It's very functional. And again, I can do everything that I need to get done. I can do my squats. I can bench. I can do shoulder press. I can do pull-ups. I can do everything I need to with the equipment that I have. And that's really what you want to start with when you're building a home gym, is just making sure you have your basics covered. And my thing was just wanting to, obviously you can tell I'm not some cut up bodybuilder dude, but I got a little bit of swollenness to me. You know, I like to lift heavy weight, moderately heavier weight. That's subjective, I guess. But I just enjoy working out, man. And I enjoy eating good food. I enjoy being out in nature under the sun and under the sky and the trees. I love hearing the animals, the birds, deer and stuff like that. So it does suck that I'm not in the country anymore, because it was like when you live in the country, you hear owls, you see deer, you see coyotes, you see armadillos, you see, especially here in South Carolina at least. But and I'm not saying you don't ever see that in a neighborhood. Like obviously we get cardinals, blue jays. There's some owls, mourning doves. We get some birds. Even once in a while, we do live near a fort, so there's a lot of woods and stuff like that. So it's not what it used to be living in a neighborhood as to what we were used to living in the country. So there are definitely things that I miss. There are pros and cons to both things. You know, like now we have internet, so we can watch whatever we want when we want. We get to have we can get pizza delivered. We can get groceries delivered. There's just so much. I'm also closer to my family. Like if they need me or I need them, we're just closer. You know, so I don't know. There's a give and take with anything you do, and anytime you make choices in life, you have to weigh out the pros and the cons, of course. But I do think that anybody can have a garden. Anybody can start some kind of resistance training. You don't have to, everybody's goals are different. If you don't want to get all jacked and strong or you just want to be fit, just having some equipment around and getting at least working out, doing some kind of physical labor exercise 3 days a week, whether it's cardio or resistance training, doing something is better than nothing at all. And then just being mindful of what you put in your body. Again, eat your waffles, eat your candy bars, but at the same time, everything in moderation and learning to just treat your body like you're supposed to. We got one as far as we know, so we might as well give it all that we can and make the most of it, make the best of it. So with that being said, let me quit yapping, y'all. You seen the backyard, seen the carport gym. I'm excited to take y'all along for this journey. I'm looking forward to turning the backyard into my farm and to be my wife's farm and acquiring some more pieces, more gym equipment, more weight for my gym. So yeah, with that being said, thank you all so much for making this video a part of your day. Welcome to the channel, Stone Garden and Gains. I appreciate y'all.